what do we think on this Conor Benn thing? Is it going to be something that's brushed under the rug? It's not uncommon, you know, for boxers to be failing drug tests and testing positive for certain substances. The problem is with this Conor Benn thing, he's pleaded his innocence quite a lot. Dylan White had a situation where he tested positive. Yeah.
Oscar Rivas.
Before the Oscar Rivas, Dylan White's had a few. Before the Oscar Rivas thing, yeah. Like, Arthur, you remember this when Dylan White was fighting at Coronet in Elephant and Castle and that, yeah. Dylan White was getting to a point where he was almost mandatory for a title shot, yeah. And he tested positive for a substance that he was actually able to prove where it came from. Yeah. Remember the drink? Jack, didn't it? Jack 3D or Jack or something. It was over the counter. It was an over the counter substance that you could prove was bought in Holland and Barrett. You could literally get a bottle. You didn't even have to go to the lab to get the exact breakdown. You could get a bottle and find the substance that he had tested positive for, yeah? But Dylan White wasn't shown any sort of favoritism, basically he had it the hard way and they banned him for 2 years, yeah, when he was mandatory for a British title shot. Dylan White was able to prove where the substance that got in his body, or at least give a really, really reputable, look, I've drunk this. I can show you I've drunk this, and this has got that substance in it, yeah? Conor Benn can't even prove it. Yet, the way we're seeing it is Conor Benn ain't going to be banned for 2 years. What do you think on this Conor Benn situation, Dan?
I mean...
Bearing in mind he watches this and he might want to speak to you after.
Yeah, come see me, man. Come see me.
It's a back room.
I'm training with Joey now. Do you know what I mean? Like, give me some gloves. The
real way, Jay.
Yeah, I have to eat my eggs. I have to eat my eggs, mate. No, I mean, from my understanding of it, like he failed. What was the test that he failed? Because as far as I'm aware, I know he failed 2 tests, but didn't he clear the UCAD ones?
Cleared the UCAD, failed the VADA.
So the UCAD ones are the ones that the British Boxing Board of Control recognise, yeah. But he failed the VADA ones, which is the WBC, is it, or something?
Well,
something like
more
that.
or less.
What happened to just training hard, mate?
Of course. But no, my point being is obviously he's got a dispute with the British Boxing Board of Control. He's cleared their tests. Is there an issue? But I mean, for me, you've had it with Canelo, with the spice beef. Do you know what I mean?
Mexican beef.
Everyone's forgotten about that now. Yeah. You know, I think as time goes on, and loads of boxers have spoken up about it, it's like you have to deal with the situation at its root. So when you have a case like Conor Benn, if he's guilty of something and he has failed drugs tests, then surely something has to happen. Because if it doesn't, we're going to wait another sort of couple of years and it's going to resurface again. And I was watching something the other day with Sonny Edwards, and he was, quite hot on the point, but he was like, look, I can receipt you everything that I've done, everything that I've eaten, everything I've taken. My nutritionist feeds me everything he can account for.
Yeah, so but I can pull up interviews of Conor Benn saying the exact same thing, saying my temples, my body's a temple. I can tell you everything.
I think at the time, who was he speaking about at the time when he said that?
Billy Joe Saunders, maybe. Someone that failed a drug test at the time, maybe Canelo, I don't know. Someone failed a drug test, and at the time, unfortunately for Conor Benn, they'd done an interview, and it was a case of like, look, my body's a temple, everything that goes in there, man, I can prove it. And it's like, but bro,
do you think the bigger the fighter is and the more like lucrative they are, they like it's
100%. They get away with it, 100%.
Get over it quicker.
100%. Because you look at the Dylan White thing.
But we're going to lose money.
Where was Conor Benn's last fight?
The whole business of it. They're like,
where was Conor Benn's last fight?
Is he going to be banned for this long?
Conor Benn's last fight was, 0-2 or whatever, shown in front of God knows however many people. Big push, whatever. The fight before Dylan White got banned, he's fighting at the Coronet, bro. We've been to raves at the Coronet. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not even there no more. It goes to show the backing power, the pull power you have behind it is completely different. 100%. Another thing, I'm not trying to start saying it's not there, but potentially some people might look at it and go, okay, you've got Dylan White, a fella that come from nothing, born in Jamaica, come from Brixton, was stabbed, had kids by the time he was 13, was stabbed and in prison by the time he was 14 and whatnot, or you got the son of a legend. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying that. I'm saying some people might look at it like that. If Conor Benn does come back, who would we be interested to see him fight? I personally would like... look, I don't feel like you should do something wrong and get a title shot. But then in other walks of life, you can look at it. You can look at this from other walks of life, The mad thing about, like, say, combat sports, in another walk of life, if you're in any other industry, you do something, you fuck up this bad and you're finished. Whereas in boxing, it just makes you more popular.
Yeah, of course.
It's like you're going to sell more tickets next time round. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, they've been talking about, getting the fight back on with Chris Eubank Jr. I don't fancy that fight at all. I really don't know. I think Kell Brook would probably be like the name off the top of my head. If we're going to see anybody, I mean, again, do I want to see Kell Brook come back out of retirement and do all that? No. Yeah. But if you're going to ask me a name that I would watch, then I would watch those two. I still think Kell Brook beats him. I just think Kell, boxing-wise, he's just got a bit too much for Conor.
I'm guessing no one's up for the Manny Pacquiao fight then?
No, not really.
No.
Nah. Pacquiao's done, man, for me. Again, do you really want to see Conor Benn fight another person that's probably like past their prime?
Yeah.
I want to see him in with people that can actually mix it with him.
Yeah, but to me, it looks like he's now sort of cashing out, because if you look at the fights he's rumoured to be having, say, for example, Chris Eubank Jr. A while ago, that was seen as a big fight or whatever. Now, Eubank Jr.'s took the loss to Liam Smith. You're sort of looking at it and you're thinking, I don't know, sort of thing. Also, you look at the likes of, like, the Kell Brook fight. Well, Kell Brook's had, 2 fights in 5 years or something, or whatever. Yeah. Talking about Manny Pacquiao's 40. So 40 odd.
People that can make the money with. And
Why don't you fight Josh Kelly? Why don't you fight David Avanesian? Why don't you fight...
Because he gets beat. Even Avanesian beats him.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Avanesian beats him.